You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
Deep in the Perseus region of space, a lone starship flies quickly towards an undeveloped planet. It's not landing. There's no time for that. The alarms are buzzing, the flames are roaring, and the entire planet seems to quake when the ship crashes down. No one could have survived a crash like that. Or could they? Welcome to Season 3 of Must Be Dice, The Forgotten Planet!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of Must Be Dice. This season, we're doing things a little different. We're traveling to the distant future, where humankind has not only expanded throughout the galaxy, but they have joined the larger collection of otherworldly sapient beings. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Doing just dandy, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Glad to be here.
You ready to go on an adventure?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
A space adventure. This is all I've wanted from this entire channel.
So in terms of the game system we're using, I would say it is none. It's just dice and a dream. Y'all aren't going to have any stats. We're not going to be doing health or anything like that. It's just going to be up to our discretion. Y'all know your characters. You know what you're good and bad at. I know your characters. Anytime you got to do something that you could possibly fail at, we're going to roll the dice. But things like Ort being a strong-ass motherfucker, we're not going to have to roll for that. We know he's going to be able to do it. Doesn't matter. We're just here to have fun with some friends.
Mm-hmm. Dice and a dream.
How about we go over our characters? Quick little introduction. Let's start with the captain.
Hello, I'm Jacob Fullerton, and I'm playing Captain Ort Antares. But that's 2 O's in Ort. He's, as described in my little card here, big of body, small of mind, 4 arms, big and burly, 4 eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the captain of this vessel that is not a vessel anymore, and I will be leading this merry band on a jolly space adventure.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Washburn, and I'm playing Washburn. She's second in command, saddled with the responsibility of making sure her crew makes it out alive. She's got a couple skills. She's got motherly love, cybernetic scan. She's cool.
But as we can tell from the intro, she doesn't always succeed in preventing Ort from getting everyone killed.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also have a little pet, little dog, Mud. Mud is a little pet that is about this size, but also can get real big. Oh, God. Whoa, look at that. Mud!
What are you coughing there for, bud?
I'm Bones, and I'm Gooch-aloni. You can call me Gooch. I'm the trusty ship's mechanic / janitor / whatever you need done. I kind of get it done. I come from the planet Paramus, and I'm mostly covered in sphinctered orifices that provide lubrication across my whole body.
All right. Short, squat,
Yeah,
dumpy.
little green. I don't care about much. I like to just relax and have a few smokes,
Gooching it.
Straight goochin'.
All right, well, cool. Let's get started with the adventure. We're going to begin with an infotone. The year is 4023. In the past 2,000 years, the galaxy has had its ups and downs. For humans, advancements in quantum mechanics granted them the ability to travel vast distances across space. They quickly discovered they were playing catch-up. After making contact, humans were folded into the larger galactic system and became just another race of creatures among thousands to inhabit space. Now, the following information is a bit fuzzy, as much of it has been lost to time, but we'll get to that. Basically, as things tend to go, different parties across the galaxy were warring with each other, trying to claim ownership over more and more space. At some point in, say, the 3700s, things came to a head. After far too much bloodshed, a peace was reached, and a galactic coalition was formed to rule objectively over what humans called the Milky Way. With overpopulation being a critical, ubiquitous issue, a campaign to populate new planets and bridge the gaps of civilization across the galaxy was born. Over the next century, hundreds of planets located in the empty pockets of the galaxy were terraformed, inhabited, and commercialized. This initiative ushered in a new age of growth for the galaxy. But, sadly, after nearly a century of peace and prosperity, a slew of political and economic crises coalesced, causing the Galactic Coalition to crack and ultimately splinter. This infrastructural collapse led to famine and consequently disease on a galactic scale. Entire systems starved, War returned. Technology was lost. History was lost. And that brings us to today. Roughly 2 centuries later, the galaxy still has not recovered, and it looks like it never will. Life is rough for all but the elite. And because people have had it so bad for so long, and because so much was lost in that galactic-wide disaster, and nobody really knows or cares about anything I just told you. And those pilgrim planets from the good times, those seeds of progress planted far from everyone else, well, nobody really knows what happened to those planets. They really only exist in rumor and conspiracy. But, you know, some of the people who are well-versed in traveling the outer worlds, like, say, a crew of bounty hunters, you know, maybe they've been to a couple of these planets. Kind of a good place for people to hide out. There we go, info dump over.
That was a good dump.
Thank you.
Nice, good, heavy dump.
Ort, you awake to fire. Intense heat blasts your skin from all around. Strapped to your captain's chair, you see before you the command deck, crushed in from all sides. The ceiling pushed low. Loose cables are sparking from exposed panels. Everything is engulfed in flame. It's difficult to see through the billowing black smoke, but you do see one thing. Your entire crew splattered across the front of the deck.
Holland, report. Avery, report.
Silence.
Washburn, number 2.
Captain!
Washburn, where are you?
You can't see her, but she does know that she's currently trapped under a large amount of exposed cables that have fallen from the ceiling.
I'm currently trapped under a large amount of exposed cables that have fallen. Help me, Captain!
I'll be right there, Washburn. Let me just take care of this seatbelt.
What do you do with the seatbelt?
I use my forearms to unbuckle it.
As
Your
you-
forearms or your forearms?
All 4 forearms.
All 4 forearms.
Yeah.
You reach down, grab the buckle, and you hear it's searing pain. The buckle is hot as hell.
Damn it. This is why I didn't want you to put an override on this belt, XO.
That override saved your life.
Yeah, and I've burnt 3 out of my 4 hands.
At least you still have hands.
How do I get this thing off of me?
You want to check your person?
Yeah.
You
Start
got a
patting
belt
myself.
knife. That's fine.
Oh, I've got a knife, it turns out. Let me just slice through this thing. All right, XO, I'll be right there. I'll get you out from under that big pile of cables.
All right, so you cut through the cables. Reflexively, you stand, but your lungs immediately fill with acrid black smoke. Looking behind you, you can see on the XO's seat, large-ass cables, boom, over her legs. She's locked down.
Captain!
I've got you, XO. Let me just grab these real quick. I'm gonna try to lift all these big old cables off of my number 2.
All right, so with your big ass,
My big ass.
thick,
My big captain's
muscly
ass.
arms, you're just this huge hulking monster. You just lift him off.
I got you, XO. I may be stupid, but I'm strong too.
Thank you, Captain. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I like that you're aware and maybe proud of your stupidity.
I call it brashness.
So you make your way through the halls. They're crooked, sparks, flames, everything. You know you gotta get out. You make your way to the exit hatch, and right before the exit hatch, you see the equipment room. You got nothing on you. You know that wherever you are, you gotta suit up.
Captain, it's the equipment room. We should get a bunch of supplies before we get out there. We don't know what's out there.
Yeah, it sounds like a grand adventure to me. What's in there that we could need?
Equipment.
Well, I don't think we need that, XO.
Okay, I beg to differ.
You know what? I'll give this one thing to you.
Classic improv.
You relent? Yeah. So you try the door, it's jammed. Beside it is a small computer console that, although everything around it is sparking, you can see that it's still active.
I got this. I knock on the door.
I'm gonna type in the password
Okay.
to unlock the door.
As the XO, as basically the only person that is actually responsible and kind of runs the show, you get it open quick.
Password's Ort.
He won't let me change it.
Door opens. Inside, you find that luckily, all of the latch drawers that slide into the wall and hold off your equipment so that it doesn't bounce around in space when you're flipping around and everything. Most of them are latched and nothing important has spilled out. You find some important things. One, you find your weapons. Ort, you get your big ass, dope ass sword. What is it called?
Ort slab.
Great name.
It's huge.
Washburn, you find your caster rifle
Yeah, my caster rifle.
and a whole fuck ton of ammo. You are always prepared. You are always stocked up. 2 other things. You find your cute little pup, Mud, kind of squeaking, shivering there.
Mud! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to lock you in the equipment room.
Well, that's where he lives. That's, you know.
His bed's in there. I go, oh, Mud.
He goes, kind of licks your hand, reaches down, licks your hand. He's this little guy, the size of maybe a softball.
Yeah,
Little guy.
yeah.
Looks like we got another survivor on the crew. That's gonna be our number 3.
That's right.
And you don't notice it at first, but right beside Mud's tank is an aquatic float tank for where, there's a lot of different species, a lot of different creatures. Amphibious, gooey, float tank
slimy.
within Gooch. Gooch, what are you doing in that tank?
Well,
What is it? Is it sleep and it's full?
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
like, it's basically like a little aquarium.
Yeah.
Gooch is fast asleep, dreaming of Paramus sunsets.
Washburn, what is that? A delicacy from a foreign planet?
It's Gooch.
I'm not familiar.
It's the mechanic. It's the
Mechanic.
ship's engineer.
I don't remember this guy on the crew manifest.
What's happening? What's going on?
Gooch, you're alive. Pull the plug
Yeah, of course
and
I'm alive.
drain all the goo.
You open the side and it's just all over the ground.
What? Why did you wake me up? What's going on? What's the matter?
Excuse me, custodial unit.
Report.
Report.
Who are you?
Apparently I'm your employer.
Oh, shit. All right.
Have you been serving on this ship for longer than 2 minutes?
Yeah, like 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gooch,
What's
we
going on?
crash landed on a planet. What kind of equipment do you have?
What? Oh, boy.
Do you have anything useful?
I got my smokes. I got my booze. I got this monkey wrench.
Okay.
I don't know. And I got my trusty mop here. My big old mop. This thing can shoot cleaning solution all over the place. Whatever you need cleaned, I got you.
That's great. Well, we're in quite a mess, you might see.
Why, what's going on?
We crashed.
Oh, yeah. So, what are we gonna do about that, Cap?
Well, I've got good news and bad news, Mr. Gooch.
Yeah, just Gooch. Gooch is fine.
All right, Gooch. Good news is you're in for a promotion.
Yeah, all right.
Staffing is a little bit light on this ship now. Bad news is that smoking's real bad for you.
No, it's good. It's healthy. Doctors say it's okay.
All right.
From the door, there's flames and everything. Black smoke is billowing in. Gooch is kind of.
Oh, that's good. It looks like you did a real number on this one, Cap.
Let's call it a group effort. We should get out of here, though.
All right.
This thing could explode at any minute.
You know what? When you're right, Exo.
You all make your way out of the equipment room. Right next to it is the exit hatch. You get it open easy. And before you, you see, only lit by the flames of your ship. Your ship, only lit by the flames of your ship, some sort of murky bog. Everything, you get hit with this humidity. There's large, twisted trees, soggy ground, but that's all you see.
Ugh, jeez. I know we're out of that smoke, but I gotta say my olfactory nodules are burning right now.
I love it. And Gooch just wallows in it like a pig in shit, just fucking rolling.
One thing you do notice as well is that you're a lot closer to the ground than you would be. Your ship is huge, but you do know you lucked out one way. Maybe you crashed into this planet out of nowhere, but as you're coming down out of atmosphere, the command deck and its smaller ship that can do land travel popped off, and in the distance you see just a flaming inferno. The main body of your ship decimated. Clearly, nobody on that part of the ship survived.
Ort salutes with 2 arms. She was a good ship, the Buto. A lot of good memories, pretty good crew. I'm gonna miss her. But I've got a saying, 1 crash landing is as good as 10 safe ones.
It's a terrible saying.
That's bad.
Keeps you on your toes.
That's bad.
We should take this as a win.
In the distance, you see your flaming ship. I think the first thing you guys need to do is possibly figure out where you are. One thing you do know, probably mostly just Washburn,
Yeah.
is that the ship, although fucked up, is still operational systems-wise.
The part that we landed in.
Yeah, because you got the door open, so you do know that the system on board is always kind of actively doing analysis and able to receive, give you information.
Washburn, sit rep.
Planet unknown. System unknown. Oxygen levels 88%.
Not bad.
43% possibility of lost planet.
Ooh.
All right.
There are worse places for us to land. This is gonna be just like riding a bike.
There could be rebels and outlaws here.
Sounds like our kind of people.
No, we're hunting those people.
Yeah, sounds like a good payday.
What?
Not you. You gotta fix stuff.
I've just got my sword planted in the ground. I'm looking at the horizon.
Captain, I don't think you're gonna see much out there.
Oh, give it time, XO. I've got 4 eyes and I know how to use them.
You do look out, and above you, thick clouds. You can't see any stars. You can't see anything. It's very, very dark, and you can barely see, maybe 200 feet. All you got are the flames of your ship.
Well, like it or not, this is the new crew. Just this trio. I guess we could count the creature too.
Mud.
No, I was talking about Gooch.
Oh.
Right here.
All right, so y'all are without a ship, don't know where you are. I think you know. What you gotta do is you gotta find a way off this planet. That's really the only thing you guys can do.
Cap, we gotta get a move on. Once the astro dust hits the space catalyzer, this whole thing's gonna fucking blow. We gotta go, like, right now.
Gooch, are you saying there's no chance of fixing the ship? We gotta repair it. Do you think that there's some sort of way off of this planet without leaving the way we came in?
No, we gotta get the hell out of here.
Boy.
Like now.
That's not good for us, Captain.
I don't know about that, but I've got an idea. We should get out of here.
Yeah.
So another thing you guys know is that on the few planets, these few forgotten planets that you've been to, a lot of the technology has been lost. It's been a couple hundred years. They basically have had very little contact with the outside world. They're not a part of the larger system. There's no trade, no nothing. The likelihood of there being a functioning ship on this planet is slim, but it's not zero. And now, as y'all are deliberating and discussing, you hear this little noise.
Did you hear that?
I'm listening to mud. I go, that's not mud.
You see, from the edge of the little boggy clearing you guys are in, this cute, little, plump, bird-like creature kind of hops out. It's kind of got a little awkward gait. It has long, narrow, gray legs, a blue, plump, feathered body, very soft feathers. It's almost like kind of like fluff, and a wide head, wide beak, beady little eyes. It kind of comes over to you, kind of looking curious, doesn't look scared. It's just kind of like.
Oh, it's adorable. Can I eat that?
Yeah, crew, what would you say if we chopped this thing into 3 pieces and roasted it?
Can I use optic scan
Yeah.
I want to know, if it's like intelligent or if we should eat it or if we should not eat it and like what it is or.
Yeah, you do the optic scan. Oh yeah, I guess we should establish that Washburn, weathered veteran,
Yeah.
Wet vet.
wet vet, you are, I know you got cybernetic eyes.
Yeah, I
Basically, your
got
eyes have been replaced.
My eyes have been replaced. My feet have also been replaced, and that's why they're so big.
Yeah.
Cypher.
But it's great feed. It's an upgrade, definitely.
Yeah. So I have optic scan. I scan this little creature. I go, should we eat this?
So with your scan, you just get a little bit of information. Not intelligent. Very much resembles a shoebill, which is
It's like a duck kind of looking thing.
Cap, I really, really want to eat this adorable little bird.
I'm not really sure what to make of this thing. Washburn, what the hell is it?
It looks like a shoebill.
Shoe what?
I think we can eat it.
Is that one of your earth dogs?
It's an earth duck.
A duck.
this little bird thing is kind of like looking back and forth between you two. It can see that Gooch over here is,
Salivating.
although oozing from multiple orifices, very clearly has this kind of hunger in the eyes. And it kind of looks out and it's like, and you hear from the outer reaches, from the distance, you hear multiple calls in response. And you start hearing,
What is that? A tribal dance?
It doesn't sound good.
and very quickly, from really all directions, giant, massive, maybe 7-8 feet tall creatures. They're not covered in fluff. You can tell, you realize, at least maybe Washburn, that this is a little baby thing. It hasn't molted yet. It's just very fluffy. Fresh little baby bird. But these things, very different. Vicious features, sharp features, big, very blue, vibrant feathers, huge ass claws on their long, long legs, kind of like flamingos. But they don't look like flamingos, but it's the long ass, just fucking vicious rods with sharp, sharp claws in the end. They hop over and they.
Ready yourself, crew. Gooch, use your plasma cannon.
Plasma? I don't have a plasma cannon.
Should be standard issue for
I
a
got a
custodial
goddamn
unit.
wrench and a mop.
Close enough, I guess. Ready yourselves for battle, crew.
All right, everybody, roll for initiative. Here we go, getting into it.
I got a 4.
11.
18.
Oh, beautiful.
Of course, the captain.
One thing I forgot to mention is among the birds, you notice there's kind of a bigger, meaner, stronger looking bird. It's basically the mother hen.
Mm-hmm.
And the order is going to be Ort, you're going to start us off. Then it's going to be the standard, vicious predators. Then Washburn, and then the big ass mother hen, Gooch, and the little baby bird after that.
Cap, do something, all right?
I was just about to, Gooch.
Waiting on your call, Cap.
All right.
Pull my rifle. off
You
my
don't,
back.
I mean, you guys do say these things, but as it's happening, you're being charged by these birds. They're clearing the distance, maybe 50 feet.
Well, what Orth's gonna do, as a captain would do, he makes a beeline for the baby bird.
Okay.
And what he's gonna do, using the flat of the Ort slab, he's going to pick up the baby bird and swing that sword like a baseball bat and try to direct it straight at the mother hen.
Oh,
as a
okay.
projectile.
So he's not slicing through it. He's
No,
kind
he's
of
using it as
picking
a
it
bat,
up
yeah.
and kind of.
Like a cricket bat.
Okay, all right. Roll.
10.
All right, you scoop up the bird, you swing it. You know, I think accuracy is not your strong suit. The bird goes in the general direction of the mother hen, but it swoops on by. And you can see that this bird, although, you know, it's not fully feathered, it doesn't look scared. It just kind of, and starts flapping its little meaty flaps, and it shoots off into the darkness. And the mother hen is just very concerned. And as you're doing this, the birds that were kind of nearest to you, nearest the baby that basically that the baby shoots through at rocket speed, seems like they take this personally and they kind of just turn straight for you and jump at you.
Just for him.
He's the one that did that shit.
Yeah.
So there's about 6 birds. You were in your little huddle talking about stuff. So on one side there's kind of 3 birds, and they're gonna come straight for Ort. They're kind of maybe a little bit more intelligent, very pissed at what Ort just did.
It was a challenge that's been
Yeah.
issued.
And as they come at you, they kind of puff out their chest, bring up their huge ass wings, bring out their big talons, and just kind of jump on top of you, swiping with their talons.
Good.
2 of them come down on you and slice. The front of your shirt is just shredded
Hell yeah.
with one big whoosh. And it bears your burly, hairy chest. You know, you wear thick fabric, so it does slice you open, but no gaping.
Yeah. Just bleeding.
You almost kind of weirdly kind of take it in stride. This is what you live for.
baby.
This danger, this excitement. So this just amps you up. The second one gets you down the arm, but it's not too bad. And the third one just kind of nicks you on the neck.
I go, Captain, you stopped shaving your chest.
I never started.
I like it. It looks good.
Thank you, Gooch.
All right, Washburn, what do you do?
I'm gonna take my bolas and just toss them at the two birds that are next to each other. Yeah, I wanna like get their legs together.
So you want to go for the birds that are currently pouncing on Ort?
Yeah.
All right, give it a roll. Ooh, almost landed on 17. It's a 7. The bolas shoot in, but sadly, they just wrap around one of the legs of the leftmost bird. They don't even seem phased. They don't seem troubled. They're strong-ass birds.
This is the worst fucking.
The other thing takes a turn now. The mother hen.
What's this big bitch gonna do?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Cap.
All right, so the mother bird almost just kind of detaches from the whole situation and bolts back into the darkness the way the baby bird came.
Great.
Bye.
All right, Gooch, you're up. What do you do?
Who's coming at me?
From the side,
Yeah.
these 3 birds are coming straight towards your left.
Okay.
These 3 birds are all just kind of swooping down on Ort.
I got
got
this. So the first thing I do is I get a real good cherry going, right?
Okay.
And I flick it at the one that's closest to me. And then I squat down real tight. And I push and I turn around so that my sphincter orifices that lubricate my body, that they're facing the birds, right?
Okay.
Christ.
Just give me.
What's he doing?
And I just shoot. I just shoot this rank, viscous fluid all over the 3 that are coming at me.
Cub?
Okay.
He gooched.
He gooched all over those
All right.
birds.
Roll first for the flick of the cigarette. Oh, 17.
Nailed it.
One of the birds that's coming at you
Yeah.
is kind of doing the same thing where it has its chest out, it kind of has its wings. Okay, you got another cigarette. Cool. It has its wings up, claws out, but your cigarette flies straight into its gullet. You see that it even kind of goes a little bit down its throat, and you just see it midair go, ah!
Big puff of smoke.
and then followed by a puff of smoke, and it kind of just stops in its place, kind of slouches, and is just like, and then as well, these 3 birds that were coming at you were not as close. They were a little bit farther away. They were still kind of making their sprint towards you. Your orifices, sphinctered orifices that have just shot out wads and wads of what does it say? It says a slurry.
Well, it's like they're more like milky ribbons of a lubricant from my body.
Okay, so kind of leaving like kind of spiral.
Yeah.
Is it sticky?
Oh, it's real.
It sticks to everything, but then between itself, it creates kind of this sheen that there's zero friction.
I see.
And it lands all around in kind of like a wide kind of quarter circle arc around you, and it slathers the legs of these 3 birds.
Yeah.
The 2 that are still running at you just do that awkward. If you've ever seen kind of a goose or something kind of slipping on ice, they just kind of crashing into you. Actually.
Into me?
Yeah. So give it another roll. You get bumbled up. They're on top of you. You're twisted between them. It's just you've been knocked down.
So we're just slick and kind of sliding all over each other in my lubricant.
Yeah. So that bird that was choking kind of fell into a squat and just kind of rolled up. But the 2 birds that were in a dead sprint towards you, you are now in a jumbled mess. All of you just lathered in this goo, just rolling around in the muck.
What's that moaning sound? Is that a new creature?
All right, so you love this.
Yeah, this is great.
All
Mission
right.
accomplished, Cap.
Or you're up again.
Other birds near me?
Yes, just to recap, you flung the baby bird,
Right.
and then 3 of these birds have just descended upon you, ripped you up. You got a cut in your neck, you got a slash in your arm, and your chest wide open. Curls, tufts of hair pouring out.
One of Captain Ordantari's signature moves. He plants his big-ass sword in the ground and hangs onto it with one arm and uses the other 3 to grab one of each bird's necks.
Oh, all right.
12.
Okay, so you are a skilled fighter. This is pretty much all you do. For you, doing something like this in combat at 12, you do it easily.
Okay.
You plant your sword in the ground, and when you do, as you can see on your little card there, this is something we're going to establish for you guys. Magic is not a thing in this world that everyone has, but this sword you got, You got it on one of your missions on some weird ass planet. It's not magic, but it's not like known science either. It's got very mysterious origins. And
Like the Force.
no.
A little bit.
Wink.
Kinda.
So something that's special about
I
it,
wasn't gonna say nothing.
it's just this huge sword. But given your strength, you can wield this thing as though it's
dagger?
yeah, as like a rapier.
Oh, like a lightsaber.
No.
I didn't say nothing.
It's not made out of light, it's made out of solid matter. But something that it does do is whenever it impacts, it stores some of that force that it feels. So when you slam this thing down into the ground, you hear it kind of, and you see it kind of lights up with what color?
I won't say it.
What color does it light up?
Ooh, like an electric blue.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, when you slam it down, you hear.
What other colors were we supposed to?
Yeah.
Well, they got purple, red. The last one was yellow.
You could have one that maybe it has two coming out the side.
Oh yeah. I could-
Yeah, can you do that?
No, sorry, that is. Maybe
what-
you were looking to upgrade it, but
okay,
Later.
it's tickle me pink.
So what is this sword doing?
you slam your sword down on the ground. You hear it kind of charge up and start glowing faintly. With these birds, they're on you. They've slashed you with very quick, striking speed. You three of your arms come out and just squeeze vice grip around these birds' neck. You hear bones snap. They just. These birds, they're not long-necked, but there is kind of some distance, and your huge, long fingers just wrap around them, crush them tight, and you can see two of them, their heads just kind of, their bodies go limp. One of them is kind of, maybe it's your, what's your least dominant arm?
Bottom right.
Bottom right, okay. With that arm that you've grabbed this bird, you hear a kind of a lesser crunch, and it's like it lets out a big just a terrifying shriek. You have defeated two of the birds. What do you do with them?
What do I do with them?
Yeah.
It's a little complicated, but
Okay.
so after stabbing this sword into the ground, Ort's going to pull the trigger on its handle, release the explosive energy that was built up by this impact,
Okay.
and launch into the air.
All right. So this thing doesn't store all of its energy
Yeah.
on each hit. This is something that you can strike over and over, and it's going to build and build and build. And you've never found a limit to it.
Okay.
But this is, just one solid strike into the ground. So this isn't going to be explosive.
Yeah, I just want a little air.
So you let go of the birds as well?
Oh no, I take them with me into the air.
Oh, okay. So you're using this force to launch. Yeah.
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 All right.
Oh my God.
Okay. Roll.
5.
Okay. So strength is one of your strong suits.
Yeah.
Elegance in terms of like hand to hand, but going up in the air, you are not the most agile.
Usually I need a spaceship for this part.
The sword is not below you. The sword is in front of you.
Yeah.
In your mind's eye, you see yourself shooting up into the air, kind of coming up in one of those hero poses.
Yeah.
3 birds in your arms. This basically just launches you backwards, maybe 15 feet, and slams you flat against the side of the ship, and you're just, and then you just very quickly just land down on the ground, and
Do I still have the birds?
you still have the birds. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And that third bird from this force is.
I landed on it.
Your main body, your torso, slams against the back, and your arms kind of snapped backwards
Oh,
against
no.
the wall. So this third bird that was, suffering but not dead, the side of its skull is caved in, its beak is fractured. You're kind of left prostate.
My prostate!
Well, yeah. So you slammed against the back of it, and then just kind of boop.
Captain hurt one of his 2 prostates.
So at the end of your turn, you were face down in the mud, kind of leaving a little a mud angel. You've left a tent, and you're just face down in like this moss.
All right. I'll stay right here.
This spring, you need nutritious, convenient meals to energize you for warmer, active days and keep you on track reaching your goals. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. Too busy to cook this spring? With Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back outside and soak up that warm weather. With over 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of over 45 add-ons, including breakfast items like egg bites, smoothies, and more. Want to cut back on takeout? Get Factor instead. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but meals are ready faster than restaurant delivery in just 2 minutes. With Factor, you can rest assured you're making a sustainable choice. We offset 100% of our delivery emissions to your door, source 100% renewable electricity for our production sites and offices, and feature sustainably sourced seafood in our meals. Head to factormeals.com/mustbedice50 and use code mustbedice50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code mustbedice50 at factormeals.com/mustbedice50 to get 50% off your first box.
So next up are these birds. Ort has single-handedly wiped out half of them.
Okay.
2 of them, you're tangled up in a mess, and the third one is kind of on its ass right next to you, just kind of like
Choking on a cigarette.
the one that it's on its ass kind of recovers, and although it's still choking, it kind of starts snapping its beak rapidly, going, and you hear that sound kind of shoot out, and it's bouncing off the trees. This is a percussive sound, and it's got a lot of rage. And once again, where the baby bird was making this little squawk, calling for help, this sound is a lot more menacing. Lindsay, you are, focused on Ort. You've witnessed this incident where he grabs the neck, gets slammed, and it's this bird that was once choking is just snapping its beak rapidly. Gooch.
Yeah.
You're kind of being wrapped up with these birds. The birds have no fucking clue what's going on. They're just, tumbling with you. They're upside down, kind of flailing about.
It's kind of like a tickle party, but not sexual.
Yeah, not at all sexual.
We're all stuck together. You can't tell where I end and these two
tickle
birds
party's sexual.
begin. Real wedged together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. Yeah.
I feel like we should just let him do his thing. He's having fun.
All right, so yeah, actually, Gooch, you hear, in your hind mind, your hind brain, you hear this snapping, but it just kind of adds a rhythm to your little your little party you got going.
Knock it off back there.
Gooch confuses me.
And immediately you hear more. You hear this same sound in response. This kind of menacing knocking. Washburn, you're up. What do you do?
I'd like to do a couple things. You can tell me what I can do. The first 2 things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 slugs. I'm gonna load adrenaline, and then I'm gonna load incendiary, okay?
Okay, so just so you know,
Yeah.
Your rifle,
Yeah.
it's called a caster rifle
Yeah.
because you can load different shells that have different effects.
Yeah.
Although it's a single barrel, you have a chamber where it's basically kind of a triangle. You can load, you basically have 3 different magazines that you can load a couple shells of each thing into.
So basically, I shoot the adrenaline into Gooch's ass.
Oh.
So I shot with adrenaline, and then I shoot the incendiary. I just kind of launch it in the general direction of the big pile because my goal is to set the pile ablaze and give him the adrenaline to like zoom out of there and be like, whoa, I'm getting out of here. And then the third thing I want to do is I want to throw mud and grow mud. I want mud to get big. I go, mud, do something.
Do 2 rolls. Do the roll for the adrenaline and then for the incendiary.
Okay, 8 for the adrenaline,
Okay.
6 for the flames.
All right. So
Question real quick.
Yes.
With my motherly love, is that like a passive? Because it's kind of like a save, right?
Yeah,
can I
exactly.
get,
So
like, a
you can
bonus
actually
to the
roll.
save?
You can actually roll. Good call. You can roll advantage for both of those.
Yeah, that's
So you got an 8
motherly.
and a 6.
15.
15 for the
First one?
adrenaline.
Yeah, 17 for the second one.
Wow, 17 for the inferno.
You're gonna fly out of there, and that shit's
Yeah.
going to blaze.
You shoot the adrenaline shot, and just as Ort is a master in hand-to-hand combat, you are a veteran. This rifle you got, you've had it for years and years.
I don't know how a gun works. I'm just.
That looks right.
Yeah.
That looks right.
You really don't even need to sight it if you didn't want to. You could have just
No, but I do it for the looks, darling.
yeah, for the
Oh.
looks. So the adrenaline goes out. It lands perfectly in the right mushy cheek of Gooch.
No.
Oh God. although the shot landed perfectly, he is in this greasy pile.
Yeah.
So you can see that he kind of boing, like straightens out flat in the grease.
What is he, erect now? Like his whole body?
Every inch.
Because you're such a master shot, you
Yeah.
put off these 2 shots in a second. Your incendiary hits that grease, goes up. Gooch, give it a roll. 7. All right, so you've gone straight, but regrettably, that motion kind of pushed these 2 birds away from you. They kind of slide away.
Aww.
So that all 3 of you are separate, and all 3 of you go up in flames.
Oh God! Oh! Oh, it still kind of feels good.
You are covered in this film, and something about this film is it is a bit flame retardant.
Okay.
You're an kind of an amphibious aquatic creature.
I knew you'd be fine.
Yeah. So although it gets hot as hell, you're not being seared like
Right, I'm not.
crisp. You're not being
I got
burned to
it.
a crisp. It is very, very uncomfortable. And so after this happens, you guys have heard that knocking sound. You hear also just scratching of leaves, some thumping, and from all around you, a dozen more of these birds flood in. The mother bird is back, and it looks mad as all hell. And because these birds were, kind of in a dead sprint, they close that distance almost immediately, and 3 of them kind of come to Ort, who's lying flat on the ground, and just start slashing you. Ort, give it a roll real quick.
11.
That doesn't save you because you're flat on the ground. They're just ripping you open.
And Ort dies.
Thanks for
Another
watching.
half dozen are coming from this other side, and they pile straight on to y'all. And
We all die.
you guys are not in a great situation as well.
What about Mud? I threw Mud.
Mud, he doesn't just, in a snap, turn into this big creature. So as you threw Mud, he kind of went from this little thing, and he was growing and growing. As these birds kind of fly in, he has reached his size, and he lets out this huge. He almost looks like one of those. Have you ever seen one of those cows or like the pit bulls that just like
Those buff kangaroos.
Yeah, or jack. Yeah, buff kangaroos. He's just ripped as
Yeah.
fuck. That was a 2. He, because he takes up so much more space. His left front paw just, as he gets bigger and bigger, he lets out this huge kind of roar. But his left paw kind of spreads into the viscous fluids that you produce. He kind of goes off kilter, and he's not able to kind of go right into action. The other 3 of them went on top of Ort. These other 9 just kind of pile in on top of you guys. Although some, a couple of them slip in this fluid. You're just overwhelmed, and they're kind of just coming in. As this happens, as soon as it happens, they come in, flash on top of you. They all freeze, and you don't know why. Everything's coming in, and then they all kind of come to a stop and sit there for a moment. And then, very faintly, you hear. And they start kind of cocking their heads around like they're trying to, figure out where the sound is coming from, and then they hear. All of them immediately, boom, shoot away, and y'all are left there just kind of overwhelmed. You hear the sound.
I feel it through the mud as I'm laying face down in the mud. I just assume that's Gooch.
Basically, this thing that scared away these vicious birds that were way more powerful than y'all were.
I slowly turn around. I get my tickle hand. And I prime my back orifices to grease up some more of these birds. What do you guys think?
How much goo you
Well, the
got in
birds
there?
say ran away,
I got
right?
Yeah. So
We're-
I'll grease up whatever you got.
all of the birds have bolted except for those two that are covered in grease.
I mean, I'm looking around to see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
We hear it, we feel it. What do I see it?
Not yet. What do you want to do? You said you're grabbing at these greased up birds.
I'm really nervous, and when I get nervous, I like to grease things up.
So you're able to kind of get your arms around one of them because you're pretty small and dumpy. But then the second one, you can kind of like give a little rub. This sound kind of starts to overpower you. You hear branches snapping under the massive weight of whatever this thing is. And keeps getting louder and louder. But then, from the direction of where actually your burning ship was, you see it glowing. Appearing in the dim light of your burning ship, you see a small band of aquatic creatures. They don't look anything like you. They do resemble kind of like frogs, salamanders. They're all these little froggy creatures. They're dressed in pretty primitive clothing. It's kind of fish bone woven into what looks like kind of rough ropes. A few of them have these big drums. They've kind of put up leaves and branches, and they're hitting it, and you can hear that was the thumping. Also on this kind of big cart, two of them are kind of hauling it. You know, they've noticed you, they see you're there, and one of them kind of goes, and they all kind of smile at you and just kind of stand there and look at you.
At me.
Yes, you. They don't look hostile, but they look kind of weary. But that weariness kind of dissolves when they see Gooch. You can see them all kind of light up. He's kind of just sitting there. You've got your arms around this thing and you're just kind of looking over at them.
This one, the other one's playing hard to get over there, but I got
Yeah.
this one. I look over and I see that they like.
Their curiosity almost turns to kind of look enamored by this, what y'all might see as a disgusting pile of sphincters.
So many.
They seem
we
very
all?
enamored. And one of them separates from the group and kind of approaches closely. You can see that this creature is kind of dressed differently than all the rest. He's kind of wearing these robes, and he also looks more mature, kind of older, almost elderly, wide mouth, kind of frog-like, big bulgy eyes. He comes up, gives you a kind of very big bow, and kind of puts his hands out while keeping his head up, kind of making eye contact with each of you.
All right. Ort leaps from the mud, grabs his sword, and plants it in the muck between Gooch and these strangers. It says, "Look out, Greg. We don't know what their true intentions are. Greetings, native people. We crashed here."
Okay. Do you give any sort of like salute or greeting or anything?
He waves all four of his hands at the same time.
So this kind of elderly, kind of hunched over creature, it's got this staff. It kind of tries to kind of bend upward, kind of looks at you, does the same thing. You can see that it's kind of reciprocating what you're doing. It goes,
Whoop, blah, 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 whoop, blah.
Ort laughs.
all right, so that is where we're going to end episode 1. Thank you all for playing. Who knows what's gonna happen, how you're gonna communicate with these guys. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching the premiere of the new season of Must Be Dice, The Forgotten Planet. See you next week.